Bradenton Southeast High School. Hello everyone, I'm Larry Vittel along with Jim Yarborough. Welcome to what should be a great night of high school football action as Bradenton Southeast goes for its second straight state title against Ocala Vanguard. And Jim, sometimes you get an upstart in a state championship game, but not tonight. These are clearly the two best teams in this class in the state.
Larry, Vanguard's undefeated, has a chance to finish as a champion that way. Bradenton Southeast was ranked #1 in the country, that's not county, in the country by USA Today when this season started. They've only lost one game, so a tremendous battle out here tonight, I'm sure.
And when you have great teams, you have great players, and one of the best quarterbacks anywhere in the country, Ocala Vanguard's Daunte Culpepper.
Well, Daunte Culpepper, Larry, so impressive. The kid's 6'4", must be 220 pounds. Look at this, 30 touchdown passes in 94. He's a kid with a golden arm, almost 6,000 career yards passing the football for the Knights.
And with Culpepper running the show, they've got a record-breaking offense.
They really do, Larry, but they're also very balanced. Even though he's so talented throwing the football, they have an excellent running game, too. They're averaging almost 400 yards in total offense per game. And look at the points. These guys can run up some big numbers on the scoreboard.
545 points this year for Vanguard, but they're going up against a terrific defense. Bradenton Southeast and Coach Paul Meckley, they've been stopping people for a lot of years.
What a great tradition at Southeast. 19 interceptions. This secondary very talented. They had 4 interceptions by Alfonso Roundtree alone in the semifinal game last week. 45 quarterback sacks. One of their strengths is team speed on defense, so they can get after Culpepper, they think.
Well, Bradenton Southeast with a great defense against a great quarterback. For Ocala Vanguard, their defense has been awfully good, and they're going against a very different kind of quarterback, Peter Warwick. For more on that, let's go down to the field and Art Schifrin.
Well, Peter Warwick is as important to his offense as Culpepper is to his. Warwick missed the first 3 games of the season because of a hernia operation, and that included Southeast's only loss of the year. In his first game back, they scored 55 points as he threw and ran for a combined 5 touchdown passes. This is quite a player. This is his first season as a quarterback. He played wide receiver last year. In fact, caught a touchdown pass in the state championship game and had a punt return for a touchdown called back because of a penalty. He's being looked at by several universities, including Florida, Florida State, Miami, Nebraska, Notre Dame, and Michigan, so he's got quite a college future ahead of him. But first, he's got one more high school game to play. That's the 5A state championship game. And we'll be back with the kickoff of that right after this on Sports Channel.
Municipal Stadium in Daytona Beach, Florida, where the 5A championship game is just a couple of minutes from getting underway. Ocala Vanguard, undefeated. Bradenton Southeast with 1 loss to a 6A team. There you see Vanguard will be in the white and Bradenton Southeast in the orange. Kind of interesting. You've got orange and blue Seminoles from Bradenton Southeast.
The orange team,
and let's listen to the coin toss.
Okay, we're going to call this a head. That's a head. We're going to call this a tail, okay? You're going to call it loud in the air, if you would, please, as the visiting team.
Tail.
Tails. He calls a tail. It is a head. Orange has won the toss. Orange wants to defer. Orange won. Orange defers. That gives white the choice. You want the ball. Okay, which way would you like to kick? Okay, put your backs over there, please. White over here. Orange won, they deferred. Orange is going to kick it. Fellas, come in one more time here for the speaking captains. Good luck tonight.
Our referee talking to the players and conducting the coin toss, Wallace Wildenrat Jr. from the Mid-Coast Association in Cocoa, and his crew will be working this 5A state championship game. The Florida High School Activities Association sponsoring all the state championships in all sports. And here's Ocala Vanguard. The Knights at 14-0 under the direction of head coach Phil Yancey. They have had an outstanding season as 14-0 speaks loud and clear. In the playoffs, they routed Jacksonville First Coast. The last couple of games have been a little more competitive. Panama City, Rutherford, actually Springfield, Rutherford, just outside Panama City. St. Pete, Dixie Hollins by 10. And then a very impressive performance, dominating a good Merritt Island team, 41-14. Phil Yancey, the head coach at Ocala Vanguard. He took over the Vanguard program in 1984. He now has a record of 68 up and 48 down, 7-3 a year ago. This is his third trip to the state playoffs and his first to the state championship game. On the other side, Paul Meckley and the Seminoles of Bradenton Southeast High School, ranked number 19 right now by USA Today among the nation's high school programs. They started the playoffs in style. No trouble at all with Tampa Jesuit. Then a tough game with Fort Pierce Westwood. Pompano beat Geely, a traditional power, fell quickly. And then St. Thomas Aquinas, a team we have shown you many times here on Sports Channel, a defeated team by 14. Paul Meckley, the head coach at Bradenton Southeast. This is his fourth state championship game. His overall coaching record is superb at 127-34. In his first 2 years, he was just 12-10. So since then, he's won 15-24. He lost the state championship game in 1983, or rather 85, to Emmett Smith and Pensacola Escambia. He lost the 88 championship game to Kenny Felder and Niceville. So two of the very best players that you could imagine going up against. And again here tonight, going up against a superb player in Daunte Culpepper from Ocala Vanguard. And early on, it'll be interesting to see if Vanguard, with their 3 and sometimes 4 wide receiver sets, can get into a rhythm with that passing game.
Yeah, Larry, I think they're going to come out with their 4 receiver set and put the ball in the air immediately. Offensive coordinator Alex Castaneda is not a bit bashful about opening up this ball game early with his passing game. Did you notice the number of points that both of these teams have scored, too? So we're looking for fireworks.
A lot of people expect a shootout. Danny Boyd kicks off. The plane is not broken, so the return can come out by Johnny Presley. He runs into traffic at the 15 and is dropped around the 16-yard line. Excellent coverage for Southeast, led by Corey Sims, a defensive back. Offensively for the Knights of Vanguard, we've talked about Culpepper, but Johnny Presley, the tailback, a great weapon with 1,655 yards rushing and 21 touchdowns. Up front is where it counts. The leader of the line is their center, Doc Hodges. Hodges calls the plays or calls the assignments for that offensive line. Culpepper starts in a shotgun with 3 wide receivers. He sends one in motion. Culpepper looks downfield, excellent coverage, nowhere to throw, he'll run. Culpepper to the 25, runs out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Mark it at the 31. Daunte Culpepper picks up 14 and an Ocala Vanguard first down. Defensively for Bradenton Southeast, keep an eye on Reggie Williams, one of the best defensive players in the state of Florida. He will get after Culpepper, but he's got to get him when he gets close. In the secondary, their pass coverage is excellent. Alfonso Roundtree, 4 interceptions, as Jim mentioned, in the state semifinals, 9 on the season.
Vanguard forces Southeast into man-for-man coverage, Larry, with their 3 and 4 receiver set.
Culpepper wanted Presley in the flat, throws instead for his tight end, Javon Jenkins. Jenkins cannot come up with it. And it'll be 2nd down and 10 from about the 31-yard line. You hear that tomahawk chant. Florida State fans know it well. As Bradenton Southeast, the Seminoles, wearing the Gator colors, play that tomahawk chant all the time during their ball games. There you see some of the fans from Southeast High School here to root on their team, looking for back-to-back state championships. Culpepper runs the inside handoff. Presley hit immediately and driven backward. Reggie Williams, Big Reg, was all over it, and he stuffed that play for a big loss.
Yeah, that was Johnny Presley, number 22, the tailback. Only 5'7", 169 pounds, but he's put up some huge numbers on offense running the football for the Knights this year. But right there, he got nothing, as the defense was not fooled at all with that draw out of the shotgun.
And it brings up 3rd and long. They have to get the ball almost all the way to the 42-yard line. 3 wide receivers. Culpepper flushed out of the pocket. Still on the run, flips it downfield. He's got a man, and it goes through the hands of his intended receiver. That's Kenny Clark, a junior wideout, had a shot at it but couldn't bring it in.
Well, Kenny Clark's had an excellent year as a junior wide receiver. He's really come on strong in the 94 season for the Knights. Rashad Jones, number 4, their other talented wide receiver. These two guys, Larry, love to get the football, and Culpepper likes to put it in the air to him. And right there, almost had a chance for the big play.
Greg Smith with an average 35.6 per kick will punt it away as Bradenton Southeast holds Ocala Vanguard to a single first down. Smith just does get it away after a high, lazy snap. And that ball will bounce into the wet turf and roll dead at about the 33-yard line. Excellent pressure coming from Southeast on that punt attempt. That was Brett Timmons, a senior linebacker, but he didn't quite get it, and as a result, a 39-yard punt.
We're going to see that the Seminoles get excellent pressure right there on that punting effort. Almost got a piece of it. Certainly anytime you force the punter to hurry up, it's to your advantage.
So Southeast goes on offense. They'll run the option with Peter Warwick. They switch the tight end, Joe McDonald, over to the right side, 2 wide receivers. Daryl McMillan gets the call. McMillan through traffic to the 45. Still on his feet into Vanguard territory at the Ocala Vanguard 46-yard line. "21 yards for McMillan, over 1,600 on the year, Jim."
Yeah, that's through the playoffs. He's their go-to guy in this ground game attack. These guys do not put the ball in the air that often. They love just to run right at you, and we can see why they have great success. Tremendous blocking at the point of attack, Larry. Number 75, Cedric Bell, did a super job right there.
Cedric Bell way downfield, looking for somebody to hit. They try the inside with the fullback, McDuffie. Not a lot there. He might have picked up 3 yards. Seminoles of Bradenton Southeast. We saw McMillan. He's a 205-pounder. He's only 5'9", but he can really motor with that football in his hands. And up front, we already mentioned Cedric Bell, 6'3", 309. He's just a junior, Jim. He's still growing.
Yeah, I know he can raid the refrigerator anytime he wants at home, right?
Peter Warwick has thrown for just under 1,000 yards. Excellent touchdown-interception ratio for a guy who was a wide receiver a year ago. On the keeper, runs right into traffic. Larry Tucker is there to stuff it for the Vanguard defense, and it'll bring up a 3rd down situation defensively for Vanguard. Keep an eye on their nose guard, Alfred Smith. He's only 222, but a very tenacious player. We'll see him in the backfield a lot today if Vanguard's playing well defensively. And in their coverage, Shoney Washington, an excellent cover guy, and he's made over 400 career tackles. He is a senior, 5'10", 194.
That defensive unit got 4 shutouts during the regular 94 season, held 2 other teams to only 1 touchdown.
On 3rd down, Warwick flushed out of the pocket, flag, that'll be holding. Warwick scoots close to the marker for a 1st down, but it's not going to matter much as the pressure came up the middle for Vanguard. And I believe Bradenton Southeast will get a holding call. Not the boldest prediction I've ever made.
Well, Larry, we saw the running ability of Warwick right there. He can get out of that pocket if he gets in trouble, and certainly...
Holding on the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat 3rd down.
Even though he picked up the 1st down, they're going to bring it back because of that holding violation, and Coach Meckley obviously disappointed with that call.
Well, it ends up being about a 17-yard penalty because the holding was 7 yards back of the line of scrimmage. So Bradenton Southeast with 3rd down, and they've got to go over 20 yards. They need to get almost to the Vanguard 36 for a 1st down. 4 wide receivers as Warwick will operate from the shotgun. Here comes the blitz. Gets away from it. Warwick will run. Peter Warwick to midfield. Gets another block. He's down the sideline. Flag on the play. A flag is thrown at around the 45-yard line. Looked like a push in the back against Southeast as Peter Warwick ended up running on that play for 30 yards.
Larry, we're going to see a lot of this tonight because these 2 quarterbacks are so talented that when they get in trouble, they can make something happen. And right there you saw Southeast get some big yardage.
Blocking below the waist on the offense. Repeat third down.
Warwick was in all kind of trouble, Larry, but we saw him escape, and once he did, the secondary was in man-for-man coverage. Inside linebackers had fallen way back in coverage because of the shotgun formation they were facing, and there was no one there once he got in the open field.
So they end up gaining 2 yards on the 17-yard run, less the 15-yard penalty. It is still third down. Warwick on the year, 12 touchdowns running with the football, is combined rushing and passing just under 1,600 yards.
Yeah, McMillan's the number 1 rusher, obviously, and then the number 2 is Warwick, the quarterback.
Warwick again in trouble. Flings it out there, incomplete. Pass intended for Jamara Clark, and he got popped a little bit toward the end of the play by Keith Brigham, who is the rover.
Well, you see Southeast in a very uncomfortable position, third and long. They don't like that situation. They're rarely in it, I'm sure. They love to pound the football right at you, and they're going to have problems when they have to pass because they're not used to it.
Danny Boyd, we saw him kick it off all the way to the goal line to start the ball game. So these two defenses heard all week about the shootout in Daytona Beach, and they've come to play and make their own statement about this state championship game. Boyd with a low, wobbly kick fielded by Von Keith Spencer at the 23-yard line, and he slides safely into third base at around the 27. So just a 4-yard return of a 36-yard punt.
Just kind of an exchange of punts. No great field position for either team so far. Nothing really happening on offense. And as you mentioned, the defenses are making a statement early.
Of course, for Southeast, 2 good gainers called back by penalties, holding and then blocking below the waist. Daunte Culpepper runs over to the sideline. Not sure if there's an equipment problem or what have you, but he'll talk it over with his coach. Daunte Culpepper, considered one of the best players in the country, a tremendous quarterback, a kid who was named the Florida Class 5A Player of the Year earlier this week, and earlier his coach, Phil Yancey, talked to us about what a talent Daunte is.
Well, Dante's a great athlete. He's our team leader. He's been a 3-year starter for us. We had 2 good quarterbacks that came before him. Both of them were All-State, and Daunte is also All-State. He just continues the tradition of fine quarterbacks at Vanguard High School.
Jim, you mentioned you were right up next to him. They list him at 6'4", 213 or 214, but I think he passed that number a long time ago.
And you know the coaches at the next level love that size as well as his talented arm.
Vanguard will have a first down at the 27-yard line as they go on their second offensive possession. We have 7:45 to go in this opening quarter. The 5A state championship game, the defending champs, Bradenton Southeast, against undefeated Ocala Vanguard. Heck of a matchup. Culpepper swings it out to his tight end. Javon Jenkins is hit at the 33 and dropped right away on a nice tackle by Jose Vegas, the strong safety.
Jenkins with 16 receptions during the regular season.
He's a guy who has impressed some people who've looked at him on film. Good blocker, 6'3", 232 senior. Boy, everyone in the country would love a tight end who can block and catch. Sounds simple, but as we all know, there are very few tight ends around in college ball that can play and do it all. Hit in the backfield and fighting his way to the line of scrimmage, Johnny Presley. Carl Hines in there first for Southeast.
Larry, talking about tight ends, Philip Yancey's big brother Jim was an excellent tight end at the University of Florida. And he was part of that 1969 team that won the Gator Bowl, went 9-2, and he had a big year for the Gators at tight end. So Phil Yancey knows what's supposed to happen at the tight end position because he saw his brother Jim do it.
But Johnny Presley apparently a little shaken up after that play. He went back in the huddle and then went down. They're up checking that right shoulder or right arm. See what the problem is there for Johnny Presley.
Oh, this would be a big blow to the Knights. Obviously, Presley, as we mentioned 1,600 yards coming into this championship battle. He's by far the leading ground gainer. Culpepper, the number 2 ground gainer in this offense when he chooses to run.
He's also their 4th leading receiver. Hopefully he'll be back quickly as Johnny Presley shakes that right arm, trying to get a little feeling in it. Normally what you see when a guy's got a pinched nerve, or some people will call it a burner.
Looks like he'll be back. He's just going to shake it off, I think.
Well, the medical team of Vattel and Yarborough have pronounced him okay. Let's hope people a little more qualified get the same result. Culpepper pumps in trouble, gets rid of it. It's incomplete, flag on the play at around the 29-yard line. But there you see the problem defensive have with Daunte Culpepper. They had a clear shot at him, and 2 guys couldn't keep him from getting rid of the ball.
Looks like Reggie Williams, number 90, Larry, is going to have the most pressure on Culpepper. And, yeah, he is so strong. He's going to be able to get the ball off anyway.
It's 4th down.
But excellent defensive stand there by Southeast, forcing the punt.
3 possessions, 3 punts between the 2 high-scoring offenses of these combatants in the state championship game.
Well, both defensive coordinators told me prior to kickoff that, hey, we got a terrific defense, and defense has won us a lot of ball games. Even though our offense gets the headlines, watch out for these defenses. And boy, they were right on the mark.
Bradenton Southeast has kept 6 teams to 6 points or less during the course of the season. There's a bad kick that'll hit right around the 47. There was pressure once again from Timmons. The ball's marked out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Just an 18-yard punt.
I think Timmons is going to get a piece of this ball. No, he doesn't get close to it at all. But it was the concern of the pressure coming after Smith that forced him to get that ball off perhaps a little more quickly than he wanted to, and sliced off to his right.
Let's see if Southeast can do something on its 2nd offensive possession. Warwick on the option, pitches McMillan to the corner. Darryl McMillan to the 40. McMillan will be dragged out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. A big 23-yard pickup for Bradenton Southeast into Vanguard territory.
Well, this is the bread and butter of the Seminole offense right here. McMillan getting the ball on the pitch from Warwick. And we saw the option run to perfection right there. A lot of pressure on the Knight defense tonight to shut down this excellent option attack.
Mark it at the 30, the deepest penetration for either team early in this game with 6:06 to go opening quarter. Between the incomplete passes, the penalties, and the guys going out of bounds, that clock has hardly moved. Quick drop, throws the slant. He's got a man in and out of his hands. What's the rule? Incomplete. Waiting for the officials to signal as Ted Bryant tried to make a lunging catch on that slant route.
Yeah, they come to the wide side of the field. Look at this hash mark in the high school game, Larry, how close it is to the sideline. And it really does give a wide field and a short side. And they come to the wide side right there with that slant route, but no catch. On target, but the catch was not made.
I tell you, Jim, we've seen a lot of games here at Daytona Municipal Stadium, and that may be as crowded as I've seen the far side grandstand for a ball game. There are not many seats left available on the Vanguard side of the field. Of course, Ocala Vanguard High School only about an hour 15 from this stadium.
Oh,
McMillan submerged and dropped. The ball is down. It is not a fumble. Knifing in quickly to disrupt the play is the tight end,
Javon Jenkins, number 81. Javon Jenkins at 6'3", 232. Oh, he avoids the block of number 24, Corey McDuffie. McDuffie runs right by him, and he's unblocked and makes a big hit in the backfield for the loss.
So it's 3rd down and long. Run inside the belly with Joe McDonald, and Zach Ballard says, no way. you're getting through here. Might have picked up a foot, but that's about it. It's 4th down.
Well, Joe McDonald at 217, the biggest of the backs that Southeast has. They went to him on short yardage, and that night defense, Zach Ballard right there and his teammates said, hey, we're not going to give you the first down. You're going to have to come at us again, but hey, they're lining up for the field goal instead.
Well, we saw Danny Boyd reach the goal line with his kickoff, so the leg is strong enough. 47-yarder, it's blocked. Flag on the play. The ball is picked up for Vanguard at about the 23-yard line. Matt Callaway. Callaway still on his feet. He's got it to the 35, headed to the southeast sideline, and he's knocked down there.
Cedric Bell, the big guy at 309. And he can move too, can he?
And we've got another flag. We had a flag thrown as soon as the field goal attempt was blocked. Then another thrown around midfield on the return. You would assume the one on the return is an illegal block. There's also a flag over at around the 39-yard line.
Well, what we do know is that Von Keith Spencer was the young man, number 25, the DB. Defensive back got in there to make that block, Larry. He was all over that kick, had no chance at all.
So a blocked field goal, 3 flags on the play.
6-man line. That way is refused.
That's the pre-possession foul.
We got a clip. We got a clip over here. And a clip where? Over here?
Well, they'll take the clip at the 39, so the ball will be back at around the 24-yard line, but Vanguard will have the football. The illegal formation declined, and that's basically what they call a pre-possession flag, which means that is separate. They're not offsetting because there was a change of possession on the play.
We had a legal procedure on the offense. That penalty was declined. Following the change of possession, we had clipping on the receiving team. First down.
All right, again, the blocked field goal.
We're going to see number 25, Von Keith Spencer, get all over that football. I don't know that we'll be able to pick up the clip for you, but the big point here is that they denied Southeast the chance to convert to the field goal and have the ball back.
The rain is starting to fall once again here in Daytona Beach. Let's quickly get an update from Art Schifrin on the weather.
Well, you see that it is kind of raining a little bit, and the field is kind of slippery. Vanguard, all their players are wearing their regular cleats, so they're kind of slip-sliding around over there. For Southeast, some of their players are wearing screw-ins, a little bit longer spikes to deal with the conditions. Completely personal decision whether or not they want to use those screw-in cleats.
Culpepper fakes the inside handoff. He's got a man downfield. It's complete. Rashad Jones dropped it. Rashad Jones headed upfield before he caught the ball. That was a big gainer for Vanguard, and it goes by the boards.
Well, Rashad Jones, the outstanding sophomore, was a regular on this ball club as a freshman last year. Rarely do you see this happen, but right in his hands. The ball was a little bit underthrown, Larry. He had to turn back to try and make the catch as we see this rain coming down rather heavily right now, which might impact this passing game that the Knights employ.
Culpepper struggling to connect with his receivers, but that one certainly should have been caught. Culpepper again throws down the right sideline, incomplete, over the back. Kenny Clark trying to make the catch, and a flag is thrown. And you would assume that'll be interference on the Vanguard receiver.
Well, Alfonso Roundtree, the young man that had 4 interceptions against Fort Lauderdale Aquinas last week, was in coverage right there.
Now the secondary for Southeast, very good. It's going to be hard to get open receivers.
Pass interference on the offense. Half the distance to the goal. Lost it down. Third down.
Well, you were paying attention, weren't you? That was definitely offensive interference. So the wide receivers have had some problems dropping the ball and then interfering. They're not helping out Culpepper at all right now.
And that ends up being about a 12-yard penalty and a loss of down. So it is third and very long back at the 12-yard line. They have to get up to the 35. 4 wide receivers, and they've got Jones now. Rashad Jones, is that him at quarterback? No, that's Culpepper. Looked like a 4. Doesn't matter. He goes nowhere. Reggie Williams Didn't buy the inside fake. And Vanguard will have to punt it away again. 3:59 to go in the first quarter. And it's really been all defense other than a few penalties.
Yeah, so let's highlight one of those guys that is playing so well, and it's Reggie Williams at defensive end for Southeast. And maybe with these rainy, sloppy conditions, the night offense is not going to be able to have the success that they're used to having in the air tonight.
Big punt now for Greg Smith, who has struggled on particularly his last kick. This time, no real big pressure coming at him. Gets away a much better kick. Fielded right at midfield by Peter Warwick. Warwick runs into some traffic, and he's dropped by Shoney Washington at about the 44. But Bradenton Southeast will start off at the Vanguard 44-yard line on this next offensive possession. 37 yards on the kick and just a 7-yard return. Let's go down to the field to Art Schifrin.
Well, as the rain continues to come down, Vanguard coach Phil Yancey told me on a night like this they would normally use 18 balls, rotating them in and out to try and keep it dry. Only 6 balls in tonight's game, but the referees tell me they'll do the best they can to keep it dry. As far as Southeast, the only game they lost this year, in fact, the only game they've lost in 2 years, came on a rainy night like this when they put the ball on the ground 3 times.
That was against Sarasota Riverview. They lost 15-10 to a terrific Riverview team and their coach, John Sprague. Well, when you talk about great high school football, Jim, you got to talk about Sarasota High and Bradenton Southeast, Bradenton Manatee, Sarasota Riverview, and Booker. Great football played in that part of the state.
Yeah, there's something in the water down there because these kids and the programs are as outstanding as any area in the country at any level. Just some tremendous talent and coaching in that part of Florida. Of course, Arcadia DeSoto plays big-time football down in that area too, Larry.
Indeed they have, for many years. From the 44, no gain on that play as they ran inside. Again inside, McDonald kind of barrels his way to the 39-yard line. Zach Ballard leads a host of tacklers for Ocala Vanguard. Also Justin Moore in on the play, and it's 3rd down.
Shane Case, number 72, an offensive tackle, comes in at 5'9", 230, doing a nice job up front. And Coach Meckley's not used to this. He's used to seeing his team jump on the other guy rather quickly. And nobody's jumping on anybody right now. These defenses are really controlling this battle.
On 3rd down, the Seminoles can go inside. There's not much there. Peter Warwick looks over to the sideline saying, I don't want to run inside anymore. As it does not work, Englehart makes the stop for the Vanguard defense.
Englehart's only a junior, Larry, so he's going to have another big year for this program next season.
And on 4th down and it looks like a long 3, it appears Southeast is going to go for it. So here's the first key 4th down gamble of this ball game. Scoreless tie as we near 1 minute to go here in the opening quarter. Warwick drops straight back, looking deep down the sideline, incomplete again. It was Ryan Ronk diving for the ball down the right sideline, but he couldn't get it. And it'll go back to Ocala Vanguard, and the Vanguard Knights will get their best field position of the day.
Which isn't all that great, but they'll take what they can get right now in terms of field position. But the Seminoles trying to go for the big strike there on 4th and about 3 yards. Vanguard, they thought perhaps they could catch them stacking up for the run, sneak a receiver behind them, but couldn't get it done.
And the whistle comes in from the sideline. They're going to tell the band to be quiet while they're calling signals, I think is what's going to happen. Yes, here the official comes over to the sideline. Little warning to the band. I've yet to see
Dead ball foul, encroachment on the defense, 5 yards, 1st down.
Never saw a flag throw, did you?
No, I didn't see it either. I didn't see a tuba player in the neutral zone there, but somebody got in there. You just don't like that Tommy Hawk throw, do you?
Not particularly, I'll admit it. There's Presley. Obviously, he's okay. Johnny Presley picks his way up near midfield for a first down. Alfonso Roundtree, along with number 45, Chauncey Green, make the stop for Bradenton Southeast.
Of course, the reference to that sound is nothing personal, but Larry Battelle happens to live in Gainesville, so that's what I was teasing him about.
Yeah, it's your favorite too.
Well, it's the Atlanta Braves. That's how I look at it.
You see the Southeast offense getting some instruction on the sidelines. 32 seconds to go, opening quarter. Vanguard looks to enter Seminole territory for the first time tonight. Culpepper pumps, looking deeper. He throws the ball incomplete. Had a little hitch and go going on down the sideline. Rashad Jones complains that he might have been grabbed on that hitch and go move. And we've got a flag. It'll be offensive holding on Vanguard. The flag around the 42-yard line. So back Vanguard goes again. Each team, when they've had some success offensively, penalties have killed.
Holding by the offense. Repeat, first down.
Well, Thomas Jefferson in the secondary, the defensive back, that name has a ring to it, doesn't it? Thomas Jefferson, he's only 5'9", 163-pound junior, but he was in excellent position on that deep route that Vanguard tried to spring on him right there.
Probably the third corner, right? Backing up Washington and Adams. No comment from the...
That went right over my head.
I try to run the little cross buck with Presley, and he might have picked up a yard to the 33 on what will be the final play of the first quarter in this Florida Class 5A state championship game. Well, coming here to Municipal Stadium in Daytona Beach, Florida for the state title, Ocala Vanguard and Bradenton Southeast, the two highest scoring teams in the state. They've topped 40 a number of times, but neither one has been able to move the ball consistently in this opening quarter. We'll be back with second quarter action in the FHSAA 5A title game after this timeout on Sports Channel.
I still enjoy going to work in the morning.
Nothing like that feeling.
It's worth everything. Owning my own business.
Had my own business. I enjoy it. I feel strong.
It's a great feeling.
When it's your business, you put your heart and soul into every decision.
I basically dictate my fate.
Confidence, flexibility that you have.
So consider this one. The corporate card from American Express.
To me, that's a sign of success.
The card that helps you manage smarter.
Call now and we'll take your application right over the phone.
Now, small businesses save 3% on mobile gasoline.
That's a plus.
And get discounts on car rentals, hotels, and UPS overnight shipping. Accident disability insurance at no extra cost. And detailed monthly and quarterly reports to maintain control.
American Express backs me.
The rewards are wonderful.
See how the corporate card gives you what it gives over 1 million small businesses. The freedom to do what you do best.
It's easy to apply for the corporate card.
Call 1-800-533-AMEX.
The best card to have.
You'll soon remember why you started your own business in the first place.
You obviously have to love what you're doing.
Don't search the dial for sports news and scores. Take a pit stop with New Sport. Stay ahead of the game. The New Sport Scorebox delivers continuous scores and finals. Looking for breaking news? New Sport goes live with press conference coverage. Find out what's hot at the top of the hour with the New Sport Update, a complete 2-minute wrap. And at 6 p.m. Eastern, New Sport Tonight previews the day. And beginning at 2 a.m. Eastern, New Sport Press Box recaps the night. New Sport. Sports news and scores all the time.
There are two secrets to getting a great value on a new truck. One is to ask a lot of questions. The other is knowing where to go to get the answers you like. Like how to get a special lease offer on the new Chevy Blazer, Motor Trend's Truck of the Year. It's called Making Your Money Count, and it's at your Chevy dealer now. Now, this is a secret I shouldn't keep to myself. Make your money count. See your local Chevy dealer today.
A scoreless tie after the first quarter of the Florida Class 5A championship game. The broadcast rights to today's telecast have been granted to Sports Channel Florida by the Florida High School Activities Association solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this program without the express written consent of Sports Channel Florida is prohibited. Along with Art Schifrin and Jim Yarbrough, Larry Battelle with you from Daytona Beach Municipal Stadium. Hope you're enjoying the game. If you like defense, you are. If you like offense, you're ready for things to change just a little. Culpepper on the naked bootleg avoids one tackler. and then gets the ball up around the 40-yard line. So he gets back about 7 of that penalty, but it'll still be 3rd down and about 20 for the Vanguard Knights. Reggie Davis, the free safety, makes the tackle for Southeast.
Well, Larry, Faust DeLazer, the defensive coordinator of the Seminoles, that time sent his cornerback, Alfonso Roundtree, off the short side of the field right there, trying to put pressure on Culpepper, but Culpepper quickly bounced outside of Roundtree and almost made something happen.
Culpepper tried to step up, but Reggie Williams was there along with Terrence Houston to wrap him up for another loss. So Vanguard can't get anything going, and they will have to punt for the 4th time in this ball game.
Well, one of the things that makes this defense of Southeast so strong is team speed. And right there you saw Reggie Williams quickly getting upfield. 2 deep zone, linebackers man for man. Just an excellent job by both defensive units, really, especially right now Southeast against the big-time passing game of Daunte Culpepper.
Flag thrown on the snap as the ball's field goes by Warwick at the 25, and he will not get away. It looked like Peter Warwick was getting close to the corner, but instead he was tripped up by Keith Brigham and will be dropped right there. We'll check out the flag. Could be another one of the illegal formations. And that's what it is against Vanguard. They got a pretty good kick that time. 36-yarder, only 1 on the return, so I would assume...
Illegal procedure on the offensive team, not set for 1 second. Repeat, 4th down.
I would assume they would make him re-kick it, and that's exactly what Paul Meckley is going to do in this situation.
Yeah, what a great career he's had. Just unbelievable the success he's had at Southeast. 6 years he was an assistant coach before a 14-year career as the head guy.
Saying he knows his way around the school. Another decent rush, another pretty good kick, a wobbler that hits at the 40. They'll let it roll inside the 30, and the end result might be pretty much the same as what it was before. Mark it down at the 27, so the difference is 1 yard because of an excellent punt of 39 yards with no return. And that's where Southeast will go on offense with 10:53 to go here in the first half.
Well, we haven't talked about David Hodges, Larry. He's the defensive coordinator for the Knights. He's the guy that led this defensive unit, as we mentioned, to 4 shutouts during the regular season, held 2 other teams to only 6 points, and those 6 points were on kickoff returns. So this team could have had 6 shutouts, and another team only got a field goal. So Vanguard, truly excellent defense all season long.
And both defenses have really made a statement today. On the toss sweep, McMillan avoids 2 tacklers and then runs through the attempt of Zach Ballard, but Ballard would not let go. It's a gain of about 12 and a first down. Daryl McMillan moving the change for Southeast.
Number 25, Von Keith Spencer, the defensive back, gets blocked out on that side of the formation. And McMillan, 205 pounds of strength and agility, is able to get up one of the few first downs of the evening, really, huh?
Work on the delay crossbuck action. There's McMillan. He's got 10. He's down the sideline into Vanguard territory at the 39-yard line. So give him 21 more and another first down.
Now let's see if we can look at the point of attack to the left of your screen. They almost have a collision in the back. Whoa, look at the big block by 75, Cedric Bell. Did you see that's what you call a KO at the point of attack? And McMillan quickly down the sideline, but a huge block by Cedric Bell, number 75.
Basically, the only offense in this game so far has been Daryl McMillan, averaging 15.4 per carry. From the 38, Warwick, he pitches it late. It's a loose ball. McMillan falls on it at about the 43-yard line. Now that is technically a loss of 5 for Warwick, and not McMillan, because McMillan did not have a chance to advance the football.
Well, I wasn't able to pick up the number of the Vanguard defender. I believe it might be number 55, Chris Engelhardt. Engelhardt does a super job. He's a defensive tackle shooting the gap right there. Just destroyed the play completely and almost created a turnover for his team. You know, Larry, both these teams are around the plus 24, plus 25 mark for the year in terms of takeaways, first giveaways, plus 25. That's why you have a championship season, when you do those type of things.
Well, Ocala Vanguard was set defensively, but Southeast did not have the personnel they wanted, so the Seminoles use a timeout with 9 minutes, 17 seconds to go here in the first half. The Ocala Vanguard Knights and Bradenton Southeast Seminoles in a scoreless tie, despite two very talented quarterbacks. Daunte Culpepper, we've talked a lot about. Peter Warwick, who was an all-state wide receiver last year and is expected to be a great wide receiver at the next level, has become a quarterback this year for Bradenton Southeast. Coach Paul Meckley spoke with us earlier about what Peter Warwick means to his football team.
Peter Warwick does a lot of great things. God has blessed him with a great deal of athletic talent. He can run the ball well, but the thing that I don't think a lot of people realize is that he does have the ability to throw the football pretty well also. I know as we practice day in and day out, we get a chance to see that a lot more than other people do. So whether or not we can do it this evening in this kind of weather will be wait to be seen.
Well, so far the answer is no. But then again, Daunte Culpepper and Ocala Vanguard have not been able to throw the ball effectively. They can't get their receivers open, and the one time they had a chance to hit a big play in the passing game, it was dropped.
Warwick missed the first 3 games of the 94 season, recovering from a hernia problem, and you know, they were glad to get him back in a great shape for the 4th game of the season, and he's been in perfect health since.
On second down and long. Warwick back to throw, looking for the tight end. He's off the fingertips of David Jenkins. Jenkins running down the right side. The 6'1" junior was open, but just a little too strong.
Yeah, this ball's right on target. But once again, we see the receivers on both ball clubs really having problems coming up with the catch tonight. That time it was David Jenkins, the tight end for Southeast, that just couldn't make the fingertip catch.
So the Seminoles faced with another 3rd and long. They are 0 for 5 on 3rd down. Out of the shotgun. Warwick steps out of trouble, still on his feet. Warwick to the 40. Peter Warwick inside the 30, run out of bounds at around the 28, and they'll spot it very close to the first down marker. They'll have to bring the chains over. Keith Brigham runs him out of bounds, but a 14-yard gain for Peter Warwick.
And it's a delayed blitz by number 43, Zach Ballard right there. Ballard thinks he has Warwick dead, but Warwick just bounces outside and the containment's broken down. One of the defenders on the outside should have been responsible for containment right there when Ballard couldn't make the sack. Warwick got out of the pocket and looks to have maybe picked up the first down.
They're going to measure. It'll be less than a half a football either way. And they're short by about 4 to 6 inches, something like that. Well, maybe 3. I don't know how big his hands are. But it's 4th and short, and the question is, do they try the field goal that was blocked earlier on that other attempt, or will they go for it? Looks like they're going to go right away.
Yeah, I would think with the kind of running game that the Seminoles have, they're not going to hesitate to run that ball right off tackle perhaps, or maybe the option, but certainly the running game is their forte, and that's the major asset that got him here in this championship battle, was the powerful running game.
And right behind Cedric Bell, number 75, the big 300-pounder.
Yeah, I would think they would go off right tackle. Let's see what they do. They're in the eye. where you got the lead blocking the fullback.
McMillan has been the best offensive threat in the game for either team so far. He's the tailback. They load up on the inside. Warwick maybe trying to draw him offside and then calls timeout. Still 11 seconds on the play clock. So we've got a timeout on the field with 9 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the first half of the Class 5A state championship game. The scoreboard is still lonely. We'll be right back.
Goose eggs on the board. Let's go down to Art Schifrin for a report along the sideline. Art?
Well, we talked about the explosive offense of these two teams, and we really kind of expected some fireworks, but the defense is maybe a little underrated. Each defense is only yielding a little over 6 points per ball game. So let's send it back upstairs.
Okay, Art, 4th down and inches. They are loaded up in the block. McMillan, 1st down and more, down to the 21-yard line. Darryl McMillan's got it 1st down as Bradenton Southeast gets deeper into Vanguard territory than they've been all day long. Let's go back to Art.
And with those goose eggs up on the scoreboard, Vanguard is doing it without Jermaine Roberts, their leading quarterback sacker. He has missed most of the game with a bruised groin, and he has not been back in the game since early in the first quarter.
Larry, on the last play, Josh Hunter, number 74, offensive guard, made an awesome block on the right side. Hunter playing alongside Cedric Bell. Josh Hunter just exploded out of the blocks on that short yardage play, made it happen at the line of scrimmage.
And both those guys are juniors, so they may run right a lot next year too. Fumble, loose ball at the 25, still loose. It looks like Vanguard's got it at the 27-yard line. Justin Moore disrupted the play, and it looks like he's got the ball at the bottom of the pile as well. So Vanguard's defense comes up with a play as Warwick and McMillan seem to lose a little something on the exchange.
Well, let's take another look. As we know, Justin Moore comes up with the recovery. The ball looks like it's in the belly properly, but there's no handle to be grabbed by McMillan. For whatever reason, McMillan just simply dropped the football. It looked like a good exchange from Warwick right into the belly of his tailback, but for whatever reason, the ball was dropped, and a huge turn of events and a turnover for Vanguard.
So Ocala Vanguard goes on offense around the 27-yard line. Spinning Johnny Presley gets about 4 or 5 yards before he is tripped up. Presley, who averages 7.5 per carry, has had a lot of trouble getting running room today. They'll mark him down at the 30, just a 3-yard pickup.
Well, you keep thinking one of these offenses is going to explode at any time, but hey, it's the guys on defense that are really making the things happen out here tonight, not the guys on offense.
Well, remember a year ago at this time, Bradenton Southeast had a terrific quarterback in John Reeves. Warwick is a wide receiver. They played Panama City Bay. Everyone thought high scoring, and it was a 20-17 game. This game may be lucky to get that many points on the board as Culpepper's run out of bounds after a 2-yard gain, and we have a flag back at the 25-yard line, and the Vanguard linemen are backing up once again.
Larry, one of the things that perhaps is adding to the futility of these offenses tonight is some sloppy play. A lot of penalties and drop passes, too.
On the offense, 2 men in motion at the same time. Repeat, 2nd down.
There you see another mental mistake made by the offense, and we've seen a couple of physical mistakes where the ball was simply dropped by wide receivers in the open.
78 yards in penalties already in this game, and we're not even midway through the second quarter. Daunte Culpepper leads his Vanguard Knights to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down, and they need almost a dozen. Quick hitch thrown on the right side to Kenny Clark. And Clark will be run out of bounds at the 32. He'll pick up about 7. Kenny Clark, 57 catches this year. Look at that average, 22 yards per catch. But they haven't had anything like that in the passing game this evening.
Rashad Jones with 42 catches, averaging over 17 yards per catch.
coming into tonight's game.
On the year, Culpepper averages right around 19 per completion. Can't throw the quick hitch left side. He'll run with it. Daunte Culpepper's got a first down, and he goes forward to about the 42-yard line before he is caught by the defense. Reggie Williams once again. Chauncey Green also over there defensively.
Great hustle by Reggie Williams, number 90. First, he's going to rush Culpepper, trying to work up the field against number 78, Alfred Smith. Now he doesn't just quit. Watch the play from his vantage point back there. He hustles downfield and almost stripped the ball away. Just see him try and rip the ball from behind out of Culpepper's grasp.
And we have a timeout on the field with 7 minutes and 17 seconds to go here in the second quarter. The 5A state championship game here in Daytona Beach, Florida at Municipal Stadium, where these two teams are trying to go home with a title right now. Either one would be happy to go home with a point because neither one has any offense to this stage. Be sure to join Sports Channel for continued coverage of Florida High School Championship action all year long right here on Sports Channel. Florida's brightest young student athletes battle for championship titles in all classifications and all sports, and we're with them every step of the way. The FHSAA High School Championships only on Sports Channel. And the Seminole cheerleaders from Bradenton Southeast High School on hand. What has become kind of a gloomy atmosphere. We've got a little bit of fog going for us here at Daytona Beach Municipal Stadium. It rained quite extensively from about 5 o'clock until just a little bit before kickoff.
But the field seems to be in excellent condition. They've done a great job here in Daytona Beach manicuring this field for these championship battles, and it doesn't seem to be any worse for wear so far, but we hope this rain will discontinue.
They try the quick sprint draw, and there's nothing there at all. Willie Sands, Quentin Allen just stuffed it immediately for Southeast, and it'll bring up a 3rd and long once again for Vanguard.
Now, Willie Sands, number 78, only a sophomore. Looks like no one blocked him at all. Must have been a breakdown in assignments up front right there because he was literally untouched. There you look at the young sophomore, big kid too, 6'5", 233, and we saw his frame prior to kickoff as we were on the field, and he's going to be a huge kid.
Corner blitz is coming. They pick it up. Culpepper gets the pass completed on the left side and for a first down. Vanguard catch made by Ivan Whitaker. He's a senior wide receiver. Doesn't play most of the time. Only his 8th catch of the season, but a big one as he gets a first down at the Bradenton Southeast 46-yard line.
Well, Daunte Culpepper says, thank you very much. I need some help on my wide receivers. I'm running for my life out here. I'm trying to make something happen. I need somebody to help me and come up with a big catch. And there it was, Whitaker, the senior, getting them in Seminole territory.
Inside handoff, Presley running right side. Thought he had some room, and then Willie Sams showing some excellent lateral pursuit. Well, that kid's just a sophomore.
Javon Jenkins makes a nice block at the top of your screen right there. Nice block on Reggie Williams at the point of attack right there. Presley, the little guy at 5'7", 169 with excellent quickness, obviously. Bursting through that hole. He didn't need much of a seam and got what he needed there.
Gain of maybe a yard. Flags all over the place. We had a false start on the right side of the offensive line, and it'll be 2nd and 14.
Dead ball foul. False start on the offense. Repeat 2nd down.
Yeah, number 78, Alfred Smith, is going to just move a little bit. Just see him move just slightly. There was some action on the defense, and they were screaming and yelling at him, probably trying to get him to flinch. Got to have a lot of poise as an offensive lineman, especially out there in the tackle position when you're just prior to the snap, and everything is getting ready to happen.
Inside 5.5 minutes to go, first half. They fake the inside handoff. Culpepper wants a receiver. He's got his tight end Jenkins. Down the right sideline and out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Vegas and Roundtree make the tackle, but it's a 19-yard gain. And a first down for Vanguard, their best penetration of the night.
This is a little bit of a delay to the tight end. You see the action as Culpepper walks to the right side of the formation, allowing Jenkins time to get out in the flat. The wide receiver on that side of the field, the twin receivers, look at them clear out the area, running downfield, trying to draw attention to themselves and let the tight end slip out into the flat. Jenkins nicely coming up with the catch there as he was wide open.
From the 30-yard line, Culpepper looking deep, goes deep left side. That ball is intercepted. Reggie Davis makes the catch in the end zone. He brings it out to the 15, the 20, up the sideline. And boy, does he meet head on with the tight end Jenkins at the 26. But Reggie Davis, who intercepted 2 passes in the state championship game last year, picks off one here as a senior, his 6th of the year.
Well, when the Vanguard defense was threatened, they created a turnover. When the Seminole defense is threatened here, they're going to create a turnover. Again, just super play by the defensive units. Right there, it's Reggie Davis. And watch this hit. Listen to it. Oh, he pays the price as he gets bounced out of bounds right there, but he's glad to have that football tucked under his arm and giving it back to his offense.
So each team gets inside the 30. Each team turns it over. We are still scoreless with 4:56 to go. Southeast goes with Darryl McMillan. Nothing there. Bounces it outside, looking for the line of scrimmage. He won't get there. It's a loss of about 4 yards. Shoney Washington, number 31, with excellent pursuit. Also over there, Larry Tucker, a defensive tackle.
Yeah, Tucker at 5'11", 247, Larry. He really hustles over there. Just super defense again. David Hodges, the defensive coordinator, has got to be thrilled with his unit right now. Look at the excellent swarming to the football. Aaron Powell, number 54, also in there to make a hit.
Got to feel bad for number 72, Justin Moore. He got great penetration, got buried on a double-team block. Gets no credit for the tackle, but deserves credit for stringing out that play. Warwick throws, the defensive back fell down, and it'll be a first down. Ryan Ronk, the senior wide receiver, on the catch, then ran up the sideline for first down yardage at about the 38.
Now the running game wasn't executing, and they come back with a quick hitch, and there's their first down. Not a whole lot of first downs tonight, as we mentioned, and as you've seen, these defensive units just doing everything they can to keep the other guy's offense on the bench.
Warwick on the option, loads of room. Warwick inside Vanguard territory will be run out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Matt Calloway makes the tackle that saves a touchdown, but Peter Warwick broke it loose for 33 yards.
Look to the right of your screen, and number 54, Aaron Powell, is going to get pinned inside by number 8, Joe McDonald. Joe McDonald makes a super block on the defensive tackle right there, allowing that play to happen.
From the 29-yard line, scoreless tie, 3:40 to go first half. Bradenton Southeast on the move. McMillan gets it outside. Great block from Cedric Bell. McMillan to the 10. McMillan out of bounds at the 3-yard line, and Cedric Bell with a sensational block to lead the way.
Well, we had seen this play run a little bit earlier. I think it was on the last drive, and we also said the same thing. Great block by Cedric Bell, and we're going to see it again. The right tackle, number 75. Look at him pull. Also pulling is Josh Hunter, 74. But no! Goodbye. That's a big body right there.
That's a decleater.
Cedric Bell with a big hit. Whoa. And he keeps on moving. Keeps on chugging. He's like a train out there.
They mark him out of bounds at the 4-yard line, and then we've got a false start on the left side of the Bradenton Southeast line. So instead of first and goal at the 4, it'll be the 9.
False start on the offense.
Darryl McMillan has had an excellent game, averaging over 11 yards per carry.
Well, he's had a couple of big runs. Really, we keep paying tribute to both defenses. He's got his numbers, but this is the first real time that the Knight defense has been so challenged that they might actually give up points.
3:30 to go here in the first half. Running right side, McMillan to the 5 to the 3-yard line. And now they'll mark him inside the 2. I thought he was down back there around the 3 or so. Apparently he didn't touch, and so he got about 7 yards at 2nd and goal.
Von Keith Spencer, 25, does his job. Watch him get upfield right there, forcing the ball carrier McMillan inside, where hopefully Spencer has some help from his teammates to make the hit. But hey, this offense is really cranking right now for the Seminoles.
2nd down and goal. Scoreless tie. McMillan. Touchdown, Seminoles. His 29th rushing touchdown of the year, and we have our first points in this 5A title game.
Now they line up in the power I. They got 2 lead backs leading McMillan into the end zone. Chauncey Green, number 45, and Carl Hines, number 41. Super job blocking right there as they help get the first touchdown of the night for the Seminoles. For anybody, really.
Extra point, he hooks it wide left. Danny Boyd, too much leg swing as he just yanked it to the left. And we take another look at the touchdown.
Now see if we can see those lead blocks up front. Yeah, there you see one of them by Chauncey Green, 45. But once again, running behind Josh Hunter, 74. Behind Cedric Bell, 75. Hey, that'll get it done when you have big kids that can block like that.
Go down to the field to Art Schifrin.
Well, I was talking with Warwick just a few minutes ago while the Southeast offense was on the sideline. The coaching staff was pushing him to keep the offense pumped up and keep him optimistic. He told me when we get the ball back, we're going to score. True to his word, he took them rapidly down the field for the first points of the game.
Well, he's clairvoyant. In addition to being a superb athlete, 6 plays, 74 yards. Big run by Warwick and another by McMillan as they quickly went from their own about their own 40-yard line down to the 4-yard line. A couple of back-to-back plays worth about 50 of that 74. Art mentioned at the top of the telecast the list of schools. It sounded like he was reading off the final top 10 poll with the list of schools that are actively recruiting Peter Warwick. What a tremendous athlete he is. Only our second kickoff, both by Boyd, and that is into the end zone. You can't return it from the end zone in high school, so whether he caught it or not, Kenny Clark could do nothing with it. And let's see if Daunte Culpepper can do something with this final 2 minutes and 50 seconds and 3 timeouts remaining here in the first half. Paul Meckley and his Seminoles of Bradenton Southeast going after a second consecutive state championship.
Last time Vanguard, of course, was in the playoffs was 1991. They were eliminated in the first round, so a huge edge in playoff experience to Southeast.
Last time Southeast was not in the playoffs was 1984. Culpepper tries to throw a fade down the sideline. Flag on the play. Was it intercepted? We're waiting for a sign from the official. Was it caught by anybody?
Yeah.
They give the interception to Roundtree. Now check out the flag. Who's it on?
Yeah, Alfonso Roundtree clearly had the ball intercepted.
Pass interference on the offense. That's refused. Pass is intercepted. First down.
Number 5, Alfonso Roundtree, just in the pocket of the wide receiver. Can we pick up the number there? Oh, it's Kenny Clark, number 5 for the Knights. Alfonso Roundtree, the young guy that had the 4 intercepts in the semifinals last week, comes up with a 5th in 2 games tonight.
I'm watching the official on the play, looking for him to point one way or anything, and never got a sign. But they get the interception. It was a good catch made by Roundtree. And now Bradenton Southeast with the lead and the football. Option right. Warwick through traffic, still on his feet. Look out. You're not going to catch Peter Warwick from behind. Touchdown, Seminoles. Flag on the play. That touchdown may not count because he taunted before he crossed the goal line. Let's check out the officiating here.
Now, we know that they try and restrict this type of thing in high school football, but what will be the call?
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the offensive team. The touchdown is good. We penalize on the try.
They penalize on the extra point. I don't understand that. If taunting is a penalty and the play's still going on, that's the only time when you can get a penalty during a play and you still get the benefit of the play, I suppose.
Well, I'm not familiar with the high school rule either, but just a great effort as he maintains his balance in the hole. He was all but tackled. And he's going to do a little bit of showboating here around the 8-yard line as number 78, Alfred Smith, is doing his best to catch up. You don't like to see that type of thing, but they get excited.
Danny Boyd with the 35-yard extra point, and that one is also no good and wide to the left. A much better kick, but the same result. So a pair of touchdowns in the latter stages of this first half, and as a result, it is a 12-0 lead for Bradenton Southeast, and there's still lots of time for Vanguard, 2:15, and the Knights have their 3 timeouts. Obviously, Jim, I don't think they should call back a touchdown over it. It just seems odd if you throw a flag in the process of a play that it doesn't count, but I guess they're trying to stop those celebrating things earlier and earlier in life, huh?
Yeah, and I agree with him. I mean, spontaneous celebrations are great, but, hey, this game's... When I was playing in the NFL, we had a rookie do that one time on a kick return in the beginning of the game. Then he went and sat down the rest of the game, and I had to play against Jim Marshall and Alan Page, and they were all mad for the next 3.5 quarters. So, you don't like to see one of your guys get the other guys mad. You would like to, hey,
Especially if the other guys are as good as Alan Page and Jim Marshall.
Yeah, hey, it's tough enough on any day. When they're mad at you, it's,
Line drive kick hits at the 15, picked up by Kenny Clark at the 3-yard line. Clark looking for some running room, doesn't find any, and he'll be driven backwards by the Bradenton Southeast coverage. Joe McDonald, who is a combination fullback tight end for the Bradenton Southeast Seminoles, makes the stop. It's a 17-yard return. And with the ball just outside the 21-yard line, Ocala Vanguard will get perhaps one more chance to try to move the football here in the late stages of the first half, trailing by a dozen.
They really need to get their poise on offense right now. They've been shell-shocked here with 2 rapid scores by Southeast after Southeast wasn't really getting anything done.
They were going to run the inside handoff, but Culpepper juggled the snap, and then he's buried by Willie Sams along with Reggie Williams. And it'll be a loss of about 4. The clock runs down to 1:35 to go here in the first half. 12-0 Bradenton Southeast.
Larry, I would think the critical thing is for Vanguard to get into the locker room now without giving Southeast another chance, Do not give them another chance because they might get a third score here quickly. So really a lot of pressure on the Knights to pick up a first down, run the clock out.
On 2nd and long, Culpepper looks downfield. He throws down the side. It is batted away and incomplete. Almost another pickoff for Alfonso Roundtree.
I don't think I'd be throwing in his area that much. This kid and the football are like a couple of magnets. He's just right wherever the football is.
And the problem is they usually have Reggie Davis, their all-state and all-American free safety, on the other side of the field protecting deep.
Well, that stopped the clock too, didn't it? So now we got a minute. It's going to be harder to run this clock out for Vanguard right now as they're facing third and about 11, 12 yards, something like that.
They must get almost to the 32-yard line. They'll run inside and track down at the 22 or 23-yard line is Presley. Sams, the man on the play defensively.
I would call a timeout if I was Coach Meckley, and I think he did, or did he not?
Yes, he did. With 51 seconds to go in the first half, he stops the clock, and we have seen Timmons, number 10, get close on a couple of punt attempts by Greg Smith, and we'll see if he can get close to it in this situation.
And we see, I'm sorry, that's defensive coordinator Faust DeLazer right there. He was a college teammate of Coach Meckley and came to Florida about the same time. He's been at the school for a number of years, just like the head coach. There you see Phil Yancey with his troops. There's Coach DeLazer.
He and Paul Meckley, graduates of Valparaiso. Let's see if they put the big rush on. They do have two guys deep to receive, Warwick and Roundtree. Timmons, number 10, he's on the right side, is the near side, the bottom left corner of your screen as you look at it.
Now, I haven't talked to you about this, but this is not a trick question, but where is Valparaiso?
It's Indiana.
Is it? Sounds like it's in Texas, you know?
Well, it probably wants to be. If you ask Texans, they'll tell you they want to be Texans.
Yeah.
Jumping around on the line, Southeast did some shifting to try to get Vanguard to false start, and it looks like they were successful.
Of course, you do those college call-in shows, a scoreboard show. I should have known that you knew that answer.
Well, you should have known I could make up something on short notice. How's that? Mark the ball back around the 17 now.
Are they coming after it? No, it looks like they're going to try and return it.
I bet Timmons is coming after it. They block him right away. Pretty good kick, a wobbler that'll hit around the 42-yard line. There's a clip. The ball's picked up by Roundtree running down the sideline, but Roundtree's return will not count because a Bradenton Southeast player clipped Doc Hodges right in the back at full speed at around the 43, and that'll move the ball back into Southeast territory.
We have clipping on the orange team after the change of possession. First down.
So now they'll end up with about 58 yards to go to the end zone. Ends up being a 33-yard kick. 37 seconds, no timeouts remaining for the Seminoles of Bradenton Southeast High School.
Boy, that was a big turn of events right there because they had terrific field position. If that clip had not been made, Doc Hodges really got hurt as he got hit in the back, number 70, and hurt him physically, but it hurt the Southeast offense as well because they had a chance perhaps to throw the ball in the end zone, but I don't know that they could get it even close now.
Well, it looks like we're about to find out just how far Peter Warwick can throw. Vanguard had a bunch of guys up around the line of scrimmage. Warwick on the run, throws deep downfield, wide open. It's caught at the 15-yard line. Ted Bryant makes the catch with 28 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, someone makes a big mistake in the secondary as Warwick rolls out of the pocket. Evidently, someone from the secondary started moving up for whatever reason and just let a wide receiver run right by him. Yeah, that was Ted Bryant, number 23, somehow found himself all alone in the secondary. That's a big mental mistake in the defensive backfield for the Knights right there.
41 seconds to go. Warwick, quick drop, throws the fade to the corner, batted away, just getting the left paw up there. Lee King knocked it away from Bryant when it looked like it might be 6.
Well, you don't play defensive back any better than Lee King plays right here. Looks back, plays the ball, knocks it away. I think he read the eyes of number 23, Ted Bryant, right there, Larry. Looked like he reacted just the moment that the ball was coming, and I truly believe he was reading the expression off Ted Bryant's face.
14 seconds to go. Certainly within field goal range, although Boyd has missed 2 extra points and had a field goal block. No timeouts left for Southeast. Warwick in trouble, gets away from it. Still on his feet, looking to the end zone. He throws it up there, tipped, and incomplete. Flag on the play with 5 seconds to go in the half. Two Vanguard players ran into each other. Von Keith Spencer and Keith Brigham both seem to have pretty good coverage. One of them got their hands on the football.
Oh, just a huge collision. Guys running rapidly from different directions, looking in the air for the football instead of at each other. Just a huge collision in the end zone.
Pass interference on the defense.
Oh, mercy.
An automatic first down, half the distance.
I don't know that I saw the interference at all. Things start to break down as Warwick is almost sacked by big number 78, Alfred Smith. Now Warwick is going to get the ball away, and everybody is running helter-skelter in the end zone. Yeah, there was the push from the back right there. It was a push on McMillan from the back. I wasn't able to pick up the defender, but good call.
And now they'll try the field goal from the 15. It'll be a 25-yard field goal attempt for Danny Boyd.
Now with only 5 seconds to go, they'd rather take their shot at the three-pointer here.
This is a big three, a 12-point game, and it's blocked once again. Vanguard cannot advance it, and the first half will end with the second blocked field goal. And again, it was Von Keith Spencer, the senior corner, who has 10 interceptions, now has 2 blocked field goals, and maybe that'll give Vanguard a little confidence, a little emotional boost going to the locker room.
Well, just a great effort there from the top of the screen. We see that there was no block at all on number 25, Spencer, Von Keith Spencer. He's made some huge plays on the specialty teams tonight.
Well, that he has, and boy, did that help Vanguard. They a couple of shots at the end zone for Bradenton Southeast. One deflected by Lee King. The second, they called interference. But the end result is the Vanguard night defense stiffens. They block the field goal. Still, it's a 12-point Bradenton Southeast lead as we head to halftime. And we'll be back with our halftime from the 5A FHSAA State Championship game after this timeout on Sports Channel.
Back at halftime of the Florida State Championship game, Class 5A. It is Vanguard nothing and Southeast 12. I'm here with Paul McLaughlin, the field director for the Florida High School Activities Association. Paul, we had a little situation in the first half there where there was an interception in the end zone and the player was able to run it out. You're not allowed to do that on a kickoff or on a punt. How come you can run it out there on an interception return?
Well, Art, the rules are basically designed to protect the safety or the welfare of the players. And both in a kickoff and a punt situation, you've got people running down the field full speed ahead, whereas in a passing situation, most of the time they're not running from that great a distance. So therefore, they allow the interceptor to either run it out if he chooses or take a knee.
As we finish up another football season, we'll start looking towards next year. Are there any rules changes that will be in store for next season?
Well, as I just said, safety is the utmost consideration, and representatives from each of the 50 state associations will gather in about another month in Albuquerque, New Mexico to talk about the rules. And each year when we leave the meeting, we think we've got the rules fine-tuned as well as possible. But after you compare notes and you look at what people have submitted, there'll be some changes. They'll probably be minor, most of which the casual fan won't even notice. But again, the safety on the kickoff, there have been several years now where they've proposed to make each team put like 5 defenders on each side of the kicker type of thing to take away the injuries that occur on onside kicks. That's the only one that comes to mind now.
We have a playoff situation to narrow down our teams so we can get the very best teams out here for the championship games. What kind of a process do you use to determine which officials are going to be out here for the championships?
Well, we've got about 23 local football officials associations, and each year they submit a list to us where they rank their officiating crews. Some of the smaller groups submit 1 or 2 crews, others submit 6 or 7. And we pick off of those lists the officials that meet our criteria. They've got to have a minimum ranking, minimum test score, minimum years of service, etc. And then when we get to the finals, the 5 state championship games, we rotate that through the various associations.
Okay, well, thank you very much. This is Paul McLaughlin, the field director of the Florida High School Activities Association. Once again, our score in the 5A championship game, Southeast 12, Vanguard nothing. Back with more at halftime right after this on Sports Channel.
We're at halftime of the Florida Class 5A state championship game. Bradenton Southeast, the Seminoles, the defending state champions, and they lead by a score of 12-0. Jim Yarborough, a first half very different, really, than from what we expected coming in.
Well, both of these teams, Larry, have been so explosive all year long on offense, and they put up big numbers during the playoffs, too, over the last 3 games. But tonight, the defenses jumped on each other and have just dominated the game. Southeast has really shut down Culpepper, and we see some great plays right here by number 55, Chris Englehart, creates a turnover for the Knights.
And then on the other side, Reggie Williams disruptive throughout the first half.
Reggie Williams, truly an outstanding talent at defensive end. A lot of speed. Look at this hustle right here as he's not able to come up with a sack, but hustles 10 yards down the field to make the tackle.
And then midway through the second quarter, Bradenton Southeast got some offense going with Dyro McMillan.
Well, and a super block by Cedric Bell, number 75. Just a crushing block at the point of attack. And Southeast gets their offense untracked a little bit.
A couple of plays later, a 2-yard touchdown run made it 6-0. Extra point, no good. And then Peter Warwick shows why he's one of the best athletes in Florida.
Well, you think this is going to be shut down right here, but look at the balance, the cutback right here. And when he gets in the open field, as you mentioned at the time, it's all over because no one's going to catch him. He's just too talented, has great speed, but there's nice hustle by Alfred Smith trying to make the tackle, but he's not able to. But, hey, Southeast still held to only 2 touchdowns by this Vanguard team.
And there was a mixed extra point, along with a couple of missed field goals that were blocked. Otherwise, it could be worse than 12-0. We did want to point out something as well about the fact that we questioned why the penalty did not cancel the touchdown by rule, since it didn't affect the outcome of the play. The officials called it correctly. The touchdown counts, then they have the penalty. We'll have more of our halftime, but let's go down to the field for Art Schifrin with Coach Phil Yancey of Ocala Vanguard.
Well, Coach, they scored a couple of touchdowns on you late in the half there, but you were able to block a field goal. Did that help to pump your team up headed to the second half?
Well, we're very fortunate. They've only scored 12 points on us. We didn't play very well. Too many breakdowns fundamentally. You know, we've got to catch the ball. They're able to place in man coverage. We've got to make them pay. We're just not playing very well right now. We've got to play a lot better in the second half.
What did you tell the team at halftime?
Just told them that we had to do fundamentals. The Southeast hadn't done anything we didn't expect them to do. We missed some tackles when we should have had them, and we keep having too many penalties. So, it's just fundamentals. We've got to play better.
Okay, thanks a lot, Coach, and best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Let's send it back upstairs to Larry and Jim.
Okay, thank you very much, Art. And let's check out the first half stats. Bradenton Southeast really got the running game going late.
Well, they only got 2 touchdowns, but they did crank up that powerful running game that's been so instrumental in their success for a number of years. 266 yards in total offense, 210 on the ground, most of it in the second quarter.
Paul Meckley has to be happy with that offense. As for Vanguard, no offense at all. They really haven't moved the ball consistently.
Well, we talked about their great balance in the open, passing and throwing the ball. Daunte Culpepper, the 5A player of the year, but they've really been shut down so effectively by the Southeast defense. And as we've heard so many times, it takes great defense to win championships, and maybe we'll see another example of that tonight.
12-0 our score. Bradenton Southeast with the lead. Their coach, Paul Meckley, is on the field with Art Schifrin.
Coach, it was a kind of a defensive ball game there for most of the first half, and then you were able to get a couple of touchdowns late in the half. What did you do differently, if anything?
Well, we came back and blocked a play that we've run successfully all year a little bit differently. They gave us a little different look, and we adjusted to it. Good job by one of our coaches, Coach Dave Marino, got the line blocking it a little bit different. We managed to get a big run by Peter, and then we hit a couple good passes there to shake them up a little bit. And it was a good end of the half there for us. We're getting points on the board. We'd like to had a couple more. We've been down in their territory a little bit, but haven't been able to get it in the end zone. I think our secondary's done a great job picking off 2 of his passes, including 1 in the end zone.
Well, thanks very much, and good luck in the second half. The score again at halftime is Southeast 12 and Vanguard nothing. Back with second half action right after this on Sports Channel.
Well, we're closing in on the start of the second half. It's 12-0 for Bradenton Southeast, leading Ocala Vanguard. At the half, Daunte Culpepper, if there's a story to this game, that's it. 4 for 11 for 48 yards. They can't get Presley going. Meanwhile, Peter Warwick has combined for 153 yards of total offense. And if Warwick has 100 more yards of total offense than Daunte Culpepper, then Vanguard's in trouble, and the scoreboard bears that out, Jim.
They are in trouble, but they've also hung in there. You know, this is one of the most powerful high school football programs in the country, Bradenton Southeast, and Vanguard's only given them 2 touchdowns. So very much doubt, really, as to the outcome of this game. Vanguard really has an excellent chance, although Southeast in the second quarter definitely, without question, had the momentum.
And Southeast will get the football back to start the third quarter, so you would think a very important defensive series for Ocala Vanguard right up front here in the second half. McMillan and Roundtree deep to receive the kickoff as Tommy Woods tees it up. Haven't had to mention his name, the kickoff man and place kicker for Vanguard. Nothing to do for the first half of this ball game, but he'll kick off to start the second half. And it's a short pop fly. That'll be caught at the 35-yard line, running up the middle through traffic is linebacker. We'll check and see exactly who that is with the ball. Carl Hines.
I think that ball was mishit. I don't think they intended to pop that ball up like that. I think he just gets his foot way under the tee. Oh, he almost slipped. He really popped that one up. Looked like a chip shot in golf. Instead of a drive, like you're supposed to boom it typically on the kickoff. 40-yard line, great situation for Southeast.
So the kicker under clubs. And here we go from the 40. Right up the gut, McMillan's got 5. He's tripped up. Shoney Washington, Keith Brigham on the stop. And you have a feeling they'll go to McMillan here early in the third, try to establish a little ball control. You know how dangerous the passing offense of Culpepper has been all season long for Vanguard. So if they're within 2 scores, they still feel like they're right there.
Yeah, that's why this is a big series of downs for both teams. If Southeast can maintain control, they'll solidify their opportunity to win this thing.
Toss right side. McMillan's got a first down into Vanguard territory. Lost the ball, but it went out of bounds at the 45-yard line. 10 more for Darryl McMillan and a first down.
Well, McMillan's having problems holding on to that pigskin tonight. We talked about the rainstorm prior to kickoff, but there's no rain in the sky right now. That was just a big hit that almost knocked that ball away.
So Bradenton Southeast, the Seminoles with a first down inside the Vanguard 45. You see a single season rushing record for Bradenton Southeast, and he keeps adding to it. Passed it at 1,053. He's now over 1,700. And a little fake toss inside, handoff, nothing there. Closing in quickly is Englehart to make the stop for no gain on Corey McDuffie.
Well, this young junior's having a super night on defense. Chris Englehart, number 55, playing inside linebacker. He sees the guard pull, Josh Hunter, number 74, and simply jumps in right behind him and makes the tackle before the play develops.
There we see Jermaine Roberts, a senior defensive end, back in the lineup for Vanguard. Suffered an injury early in the first half and did not play much in the opening half of the ball game. Warwick on the option, caught from behind and dropped. Nice play made along the line by the nose guard, Alfred Smith. We mentioned Smith early, Jim, but that's the first time he's been in on a solo tackle.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of hustling. We saw him swarming to the football with his teammates earlier, and that's pretty much what the way that the Knights played defense, was a swarming, gang tackling attack. That time, Alfred Smith makes the hit and the stop by himself.
And it brings about a third down. Very big third down for the Vanguard defense. Southeast with 2 wide receivers. They bring everyone up tight defensively. Warwick looks to throw deep. He does go deep. He's got a man. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Ryan Rock. 42 yards, and it's 18-0.
Matt Callaway, the free safety, is in coverage on Ryan Ronk, and Ronk just gets a step or two on him, and that ball is perfectly thrown by Peter Warwick. The first touchdown via the air tonight, and it comes from the guy that doesn't throw it that often. Warwick, not Culpepper. Culpepper from Vanguard, obviously with huge numbers throwing the football. Warwick not getting the chance to put the ball in the air that often because of the powerful running attack, but there's a touchdown pass right there.
And for the first time in 5 kicks, Danny Boyd is good. He'd missed 2 extra points. He'd had 2 field goals blocked, but with that extra point, it's 19-0 after this connection from Peter Warwick to Ryan Ronk.
You'll see number 19, Matt Callaway, trying to catch up with Ronk. Callaway just can't reach out and knock the ball away. He thought perhaps he might be able to knock the ball away, and Ronk celebrates with a touchdown jog in the end zone.
Jim, I mentioned right before the snap, Vanguard had brought everyone in tight. They play very tight. The corners were there. The safeties were back behind the linebackers, no more than 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. That made it a little tough, I guess, for Callaway to get back there.
Well, you become very vulnerable in the secondary when you're concentrating on the other team's powerful running game, and that's exactly what happened.
Johnny Presley, Kenny Clark deep to receive after we check out the drive. 60 yards, 5 plays, a 3rd and 7, 42-yard touchdown pass, making it 19-0 in favor of the defending state champs. You see the Bradenton Southeast sideline. I've not seen that before. Driving, kickoff will go to the goal line. The ball did not break the plane, so he can bring it out. And bringing it out is Kenny Clark. Clark on the return out to about the 22, 23-yard line. And Daunte Culpepper's got to try to make something happen after just a 48-yard first half.
Well, he was on target a couple of times early in the first quarter, if you'll recall, but the ball wasn't caught, and now with his team trailing, even more burden for his shoulders as he tries to bring his team back from a 19-point deficit.
See the difference a little bit. Bradenton Southeast with a lot of guys back in coverage. Underneath pass to Whitaker. Ivan Whitaker popped as he goes out of bounds at the 37-yard line, but a good pickup of 14 and a first down.
Brett Timmons, number 10, with a big hit along the sideline. Timmons, senior.
Timmons getting some interest from Division I recruiters along with Roundtree. Of course, we've talked so much about Reggie Davis and Warwick. Daryl McMillan will also get an outstanding opportunity to further his football career and his education. Inside handoff, finally a little bit of running room for Presley, but he was a little indecisive, and Chauncey Green said, if you're going to stop, I'm going to nail you.
Oh, he saw Chauncey Green in as a fullback on the short yardage touchdown run in the second quarter. Obviously, he's the talented linebacker of this Southeast defense, but at 238 pounds, he's a load either offensively or defensively.
Daunte Culpepper is exactly at 6,000 yards for his career. You know when you're driving your car and you hit a certain number and you have all them zeros up there, you can't wait to look? Well, Culpepper got exactly 6,000 on his last pass. Culpepper, all kinds of running room. He's got 5, he's got 10, he's got a first down up and around the 48-yard line. So Daunte Culpepper running the right side picks up 12 yards and a first down.
What he also got was an open field block by Ivan Whitaker. Ivan, look at that block right there. Whitaker, the little wide receiver at 5'8", 160. He's getting downfield, thinks he's going to maybe continue his route, but instead comes back and makes a huge hit on Carl Hines. Hines said, hey, where'd that guy come from?
So back-to-back first downs for Vanguard. That may be a first. No more than the second time they've been able to put successive first downs out there. They fake the inside handoff. Culpepper will be sacked. Timmons on the blitz.
Richard Pardee, the offensive guard, is pulling out with the hope of blocking for his quarterback, Culpepper. But Brett Timmons is so quick, he just sprints right by him before Pardee can make the block. Timmons, again, a perfect example of that great team speed that Bradenton Southeast is so proud of on their defensive side of the line of scrimmage.
So a second and long situation back at the 39-yard line. Southeast shows blitz. Here it comes. Culpepper gets rid of it. Presley never caught it, and it'll be third down.
Yeah, here it comes is right. Jermaine Belvin, number 35, untouched at the line of scrimmage, showed the blitz a bit early, but no one was able to pick him up. Belvin right in the face of Culpepper immediately. Look to the left of your screen. You're going to see 35 just putting huge pressure on Daunte Culpepper.
Isn't that a great linebacker name, though? Belvin. If your name's Belvin, you should be a linebacker. 7:12 to go, third quarter. All Bradenton Southeast now as Vanguard trails by 19. Ocala Vanguard 14-0, Bradenton Southeast 13-1, but it's the Seminoles from Southeast with a 19-0 lead. Vanguard has 3rd and 20, and they have converted just one time today on third down. Daunte Culpepper gets some protection, hit as he throws. A nice catch is made at the 42-yard line of Southeast, and that's going to be very close. Looks to be maybe a half yard short of first down yardage. Kenny Clark with an excellent catch.
Kenny Clark, the junior wide receiver, the wider of the twin receivers on the left side of the formation, does a nice job of separating himself from Thomas Jefferson. Boy, did you say that prior to that play they'd only converted 1 third down? Wow.
Still just one because they're short by half a yard. And it'll be fourth down at the 42 of the Seminoles.
Obviously, you need more production out of your offense, certainly as you trail by 19 points. Now they can't afford not to convert these third downs, but there was one where they have to give the ball back to Bradenton Southeast.
They line up. They broke huddle with 8 seconds left on the play clock. They lined up to punt on 4th and 1.
Delay of game on the white team.
Down by 19 points. Now they take the delay of game. So it's 4th and almost 6 from the 47-yard line.
Well, it'd be a huge gamble if they went for it. Let's assume they weren't able to make it and Southeast were to go in and score. It would be over. The game would be over. So by punting the ball away, Coach Philip Yancey thinks that maybe his defense can put the brakes on Southeast, get the ball back again, and have another shot with his offense. So too much risk involved going for it at this point.
And then they call a timeout. So they take a delay of game, lose the 5 yards, call timeout, and sent their punt team back on the, they send their offense back on the football field, but now 4th down, and instead of about a half yard, it's 5.5 yards.
Well, the risk is greater now, isn't it? Are they going to go for it? Yes, they are. Wow.
Let's see if the officials are going to let them play. Sports Channel brings you the best in college basketball all season long. The Florida Gators, South Florida Bulls, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, and conference action from around the nation. Be sure to check your local listings for matchups and availability in your area. College basketball right here on Sports Channel. So on 4th and almost 6, Vanguard looks like they'll go for it. The blitz comes from the right side. Quarterback draw. Culpepper inside the 45. He's got the first down at the 40-yard line.
Well, your thought immediately is that this is not going to work. The pressure is coming. You don't think Culpepper is going to make anything happen right here. Look, the pocket collapses on him immediately. I think they tried to get him outside right there, but somehow he breaks a couple of tackles, and look at that lunge forward right there. And It looks like he got the first down.
And a late flag thrown at the 42-yard line.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense.
Oh, my goodness.
Wonder what they did.
Oh.
That'll be 1st and 25.
Yeah, dead ball. Boy, what a bad break for the Knights. Coach Phil Yancey's asking what happened. And now the good news, they picked up the first down. The bad news is they're going backwards.
I'd love to get an explanation on that one. Didn't see anything happen except a flag come out, seemingly after the play was over.
Yeah, I wish that officials would talk to us a little bit with their microphones. But
86 yards in penalties for Ocala Vanguard. Keep in mind, they had 86 yards of offense in the first half. 1st and 25 from their own 45, and now an official timeout as Culpepper gets a chance to tie his shoes.
Well, that was a huge risk they took on 4th and 6. I guess the rule here, as we see Culpepper go to the sideline, is that does he have to come out for a play? No, he's just going to get a shoestring.
Well, maybe he's got a cut. They must have a cut that they saw, and they have to tape it up and bandage it. So they'll take care of that. And I think I'm sure Phil Yancey isn't talking about the cut. He's talking about that 15-yard penalty that certainly took away quite a bit of momentum from his football team. Now, the rule is, as I understand it, is if it was an equipment malfunction, if he had to leave the field because his the strap was broken or what have you, and they stop the clock, he has to stay out. But for that, the blood rule, they just stop it, patch it up, and let him stay in. That's different than in college where they do take him out. So Culpepper stays in the game, 1st and 25. 5:45 to go, 3rd quarter. The Vanguard Knights scoreless. Culpepper throws. He's got a man down the middle of the field. Kenny Clark to the 15, to the 10, and he's down at the 6-yard line. Ocala Vanguard hits its biggest play of the game, 49 yards.
Well, it's taken almost 2.5 quarters for this explosive passing game to execute like it's obviously done all season long. Kenny Clark right here on the slant route. The ball's right in the belly from Daunte Culpepper. Reggie Davis in coverage. Number 11 finally making the touchdown-saving tackle. But there's the Daunte Culpepper pass that we've been looking for, that we knew was in the game plan.
On 1st and goal, Culpepper fires. It's a tip ball. Touchdown! Rashad Jones went up and got it. And Vanguard's on the board.
Well, these Knights deserved a little bit of good luck. They've been struggling throughout the first half to hang in there with this Southeast ball club. And then Southeast came out and got another score in the 3rd quarter. But, hey, now it's time for a little celebration, a little fun on the Vanguard Knights sideline. That ball could have been caught, obviously, by anyone as it bounced in the sky near the goal line. But Rashad Jones was the guy that came up with the catch.
Vanguard apparently missing a player out there for the extra point. They've got 10 seconds. Now they ought to just take the delay of game and not burn a timeout. Take the delay of game. Don't use up a timeout here. And kick an extra point if you have to. There's the flag for delay. No big deal. Their kicker, certainly, Tommy Woods, if he can kick from 20.
The game on the offense.
He'll kick from 25. So Alfred Smith late coming in to block for the extra point. Understandable that extra point team hasn't had a chance to work today.
Well, they're glad to be out there right now. They're crawling back into this thing.
Basement's down. Oh boy, did he kick that one. That's the same guy who hit the 15-yard kickoff. They hit a howitzer for an extra point as we watch the scoring play again.
Oh, the ball bounces off number 41, Carl Hines. Anybody could have gotten it, but it was Rashad Jones making the catch. It's anybody's ball right now. Hey, it's basketball season, and look at that vertical, what do you call that? Elevating, right?
He went up there and got it, and of course the Southeast players will be told in the future, hey, grab the guy, knock him over. It's not a pass interference situation. Southeast had him outnumbered big time, but Jones got the touchdown. Let's go down to the field for a report from Art Schifrin.
Well, the story on that unsportsmanlike conduct was an illegal football. This year, the Bradenton 550 is the ball they're supposed to be using in the ball game. Somehow, another ball ended up on the field. The Vanguard coaching staff says, hey, we just played the ball that was out there. How can we be in control of that? The official apologized for it, but what is an illegal ball, and so that was the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Despite the penalty, they had a drive of 77 yards, 9 plays. They actually gained 92 yards on that drive.
Boy, those officials were on top of it, right? How would they know that the label was different? I mean, who's paying attention to that type of thing?
It's kind of interesting that it is the responsibility of Vanguard when there are other people involved with the football. They'll kick it deep. A wobbler that hits at the 20 is fielded back at the 12-yard line. And not much return opportunity there. Coming in on the return for Bradenton Southeast was, let's check out number 42 for the Seminoles. He's so small I can't find him. Yante Hines, a 5'3" junior. All 142 pounds of him. So here we go with Bradenton Southeast on the offense. Ball at the 25-yard line. And they're short a body.
Oh, they're guard.
They need a
Josh Hunter?
Peter Warwick calls timeout with 10 seconds on the play clock.
No, Josh Hunter's on the field. I don't know who's not one of their running backs.
No fullback.
No fullback?
No wideout. They had 9 guys, so they're probably plenty of blame to go around. 19-7 our score with 5:09 to go here in the third quarter. It started on the Darrell McMillan 2-yard run. Warwick's 33-yarder put it down at the 30. McMillan then had a 26-yarder to give them first and goal at the 4. He scored 2 plays later. Bradenton Southeast then went up 12-0 when Roundtree intercepted Culpepper. Warwick a 39-yard scoring run. The extra point again, no good. It was 12-zip. Early in the third quarter, Warwick to the air, a 42-yard pass to Ryan Ronk. The extra point was good this time. 19-0. Bradenton Southeast in control, but Ocala Vanguard comes back. A 50-yard pass from Culpepper to Clark. Got the ball down to the 6-yard line, or the 5-yard line officially, and then he hit Jones on that tipped pass for the score. So it's a 12-point game, just as it was at halftime. Still a long way to go here in this Florida Class 5A state title matchup. The defense tries to dig in and make something happen for Vanguard. Southeast will try to get that running game cranked up again. On the little counter, McMillan is dropped. In there quickly, Larry Tucker to make the tackle at the 22-yard line. That'll be a loss of about 3 or 4 yards.
Larry, you could hear the Vanguard fans as they gave the defense a standing ovation and screaming defense. So important now for the Knights to shut down these Seminoles. If they can possibly come back and win this thing, they've got to put the brakes on this powerful running game.
3 wide receivers, Baxton and I, no tight end. On second down and long from the 22-yard line. Warwick on the option. That's a loose ball at the 10. That ball is still loose. Vanguard touchdown. The Vanguard Knights stayed patient the whole way, and they've got another touchdown.
I think it was Justin Moore, number 72, that knocked the ball away. Justin Moore, number 72, I think knocks the ball away. Yeah, he does there. He makes the big hit on Warwick. And as you mentioned, Larry, the patience of the defenders. Is that 81, Javon Jenkins?
That's who it is, Jenkins.
Patiently waited to get the right handle on that ball and lunge into the end zone. And my goodness, has the complexion of this championship battle changed.
It has changed dramatically. And with an extra point here, Vanguard will be within 5. Back-to-back scoring plays. The touchdown pass on the tipped ball, and then the fumbled pitch caused by Moore, recovered by Jenkins. The extra point kick is up, and it is good. So Woods connects for the second time, and we've got a 5-point ball game between Ocala Vanguard's Knights and the Seminoles from Bradenton Southeast.
You see Justin Moore getting congratulations as he takes a break on the bench, but watch to the right of your screen. He's responsible for the quarterback. Oh, the ball seemed to slip out of Warwick's grasp as he tried to make the one-hand pitch. You know, he has the big hand, tried to make the one-hand pitch. Gave up the football, and Vanguard gets the touchdown. There you see big Justin Moore.
Vanguard with a couple of big, rangy defensive ends. Moore 6'6", 2 1/4. Roberts 6'7", 233. Roberts has not been a factor after suffering an early injury, but Moore has played very well. And now the folks on the far side of the field who might have thought things were very bleak when they had 1st and 25 down by 19. But they have come back. Back-to-back touchdowns. Vanguard is within 5. Speaking of 5, number 5, Alfonso Roundtree. Deep to receive along with Ted Bryant.
And as you mentioned earlier, a huge crowd following Vanguard from Ocala here to Daytona Beach to cheer their team on, and they're all on their feet right now and excited about this turn of events. Conversely, the Seminoles really have to regain their poise and just try and get that offense cranked up without doing anything too dangerous, and certainly without giving the football back again to Vanguard via the turnover.
Woods kicks it off deep. Backing up to field it. That's Bryant at the 5-10, up to the 25, and tripped up at about the 26 or 27-yard line. Kenny Smith in on the coverage along with Shoney Washington. And there's Justin Moore. Has forced 5 fumbles. That's tops on the Vanguard defense. And on over 100 tackles this season. Now Paul Meckley's team will draw on that championship and playoff experience, which you can really need in this situation. 4 minutes to play. And we've got a timeout called by the officials again. See if we have an equipment problem or what's going on over there on the Vanguard huddle. Apparently Zach Ballard's got problems with his helmet. He's okay, and we're set to continue. 4:07 officially on the clock, 3rd quarter. The 5A state championship on the line.
Now it stopped raining, so the elements are not a problem on the field right now for this offense.
Miller tripped up and dropped for no gain. Alfred Smith, the nose guard.
Well, the elements aren't a problem for this offense, but these talented Knight defenders continue to be a thorn in their side. We talked about the